All right, and we are live on Twitch.
Woo!
Whose turn is it this week, Kelsey, to give the recap?
Kelsey is on her way, but I think it's my turn. Are we in consensus with that?
Yeah, all right.
I think so. Yeah.
Good. I skimmed over the notes just for the occasion.
That's why they're there.
Perfect.
One day, when it's not my
I
turn,
was
I'm just going to put the wrong thing completely.
Good. I expect that of us. Gotta keep on our toes. I was kind of blanking because I was like, I can't really remember much, and there isn't too much we did that day. Anyway, so hello everybody, welcome back to the Annals of Levis, Heretic King. Last session, we the party have returned to Zambar, a small town on the cusp of the Heretic Valley, I believe is the right proper term.
Yes.
Returning to recuperate after plundering tombs and ruins and all that such in our fight against Kazi. Um, Taking up residence there for just a night. We have gotten a good meal, a bath, slept in actual beds, all the great stuff. Party has been acclimating together as we've been kind of talking all that such. One person keeping out of the conversation has been Johan, who recused himself to some private time and all that. We went to bed and woke up the next day and found that he was gone with a note saying that he has work to do for the yellow, the yellow king, the king in yellow.
Yes, the King in Yellow.
So
Also, I believe Morgan lied to cover for him. He said that he had personal business to go on.
yeah, there you go.
I mean, technically not wrong
Yep.
Mhm.
in a way.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. We're starting the morning with breakfast and gonna go meet with the big old bronze dragon Amani. Is it bronze? I think it's bronze.
She is brass.
Brass. Thank you.
If you call her bronze, she's going to kill you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make that
So,
mistake. You also
actually,
left out the brief podcast aside we did on biology. This is very funny. I think our characters were in the bath, but we were talking about like dissecting mice, owl pellets, and cats. I thought that was very funny. I went back and watched it.
It's good.
all right. Let's see here. Does anybody have anything to add before we start? Does anybody want to throw in anything at all before we get to the wonder of Zambar and meeting Amani?
I'm good. When else good? Happy to meet our new friend.
Yes, very excited to make new friends.
We'll see.
Brynjar,
Yes, sir.
one thing that happens to you tonight in your dreams is you have a conversation with Bert.
Okay.
And you find that for whatever reason now, at least in your dreams, you and Bert can carry on conversations and speak with one another.
Okay.
Is there anything that you wish to convey to Bert?
Tell him you love him.
Absolutely. I mean, like out the gate, he would obviously be very, very confused.
I didn't know how Bert
But-
feels.
Probably equally confused.
Bert seems to know more than you do about why.
About why we can communicate in my dreams.
Like it's not as shocking to him.
Okay. Well, that intrigues me. I'd probably I'd ask him like how this is possible. What's going on?
Hang on, I'm yelling.
No, you're good.
Bert's been talking with people in his dreams for years. So this is just the first time he's opened up to you.
Oh, okay. I finally proved myself.
And he tells you that the moon goddess has given him, or has given the two of you, this gift. And that eventually you will be able to speak without being inside your dreams.
That's really cool. I Bernard would be super enthusiastic about it. Pretty excited. Ask him like, I forget where. I forgot how I even came about saving him.
Wow.
Bert's
Wow.
like, wow, worst father ever. Damn.
Right.
He throws
I
away
think,
the world's best dad mug he got for you.
right. Throws it at the wall.
You guys found Bert, and by you guys, I mean you and your former party,
Correct.
found Bert out in the Great Glade, which for those of you from Campaign 1 is southwestish in the giant forest there, southwest of Saharia, north of Middlemirth.
I missed that one session that did all the Metal Merc stuff. I missed that one, so I can never think of Metal Merc stuff ever. for some
They
reason.
were or campaign group
Or
group 3.
3. Okay.
They were out there for the longest time. They stopped basically an army of the dead that was led by a vampire. But
I
on
mean, we
their
did that too.
on their way back, yeah, actually, technically, you guys did. You fought like a navy of the undead,
Mm-hmm.
armies of the
That
undead.
is
Big
correct.
big recurring theme for me. So yeah, they thwarted that, and then on their way back, they stumbled upon a mother owlbear that had been killed. Almost said murdered, but she was killed by a green dragon that was now menacing the dead mother's cub. And so the party intervened and stopped that. Party almost got killed too. I remember that because they took a shit
Mhm.
ton of poison damage. It was crazy. And it
Mhm.
was just a young
Yep.
dragon too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you got Bert, your precious owlbear pet that you have apparently forgotten.
Oh, never. Just minor details.
So
Okay.
Bert does have a couple of things he wants to bring to your attention.
Okay.
Number one, he thanks you because he's learning a great deal about fighting from you.
Oh, nice.
Second of all, he notes that a lot of the time, you carry him around in your pack, and sometimes you'll put the pack down and you're tired and you'll sleep before you let Bert out of the pack. And he says sometimes when you do that, unfortunately, you fart a lot. Could you not?
Oh,
Could you not do that? Could you free me from the pack before you start gassing me?
absolutely. I'll
I
keep that
I
in mind.
I don't think it's an unreasonable request.
Free me
Not at
tells
all.
from
you.
this hell.
Not at all. Yeah, absolutely. We'll make sure that you get all the free time you can.
And he kind of gives you an owlbear thumbs up. And he kind of
Okay.
hoots with a bear voice.
Nice.
I guess that's how that sounds. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So with that, you kind of lapse back into unconsciousness. You wake up in the morning to go down to breakfast, and Bert's already awake and just kind of staring at you expectantly, like, feed me.
All right, let's go get some breakfast.
So you make your way downstairs. You guys see Brynjar and Bert come downstairs for breakfast time. And
How big is he at this point?
You're just in time for second breakfast since we already had breakfast last campaign, last week.
he's
Oh,
a
second breakfast.
I'm happy to take an extra breakfast. We don't usually
love
get to have
extra
that.
food.
wait. Did you guys already eat last time?
We did.
Yes. So we're eating again because
Okay.
we
Second breakfast.
eat like 2.5 meals a day.
No. We don't have to redo breakfast.
Okay, fine.
So you come downstairs. You eat. We pick up then from last time. We'll just say that that's the same time.
All right.
Like when you ate last time is the same time you ate this session. But yeah, you
It's like he
guys
doesn't even
are...
read the notes I work so hard on.
Listen, smartass. All right, I have to drive 45 minutes to work, and then I have to drive back another 45 minutes home. By the time I get back here, I'm pretty much a vegetable. You're
That's
lucky.
fair.
You're lucky you have any damn D&D, dude.
That's fair.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, George, for working so hard for
You're
us.
welcome.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So it is noon. Do you guys want to start making your way towards the small, nondescript, unlabeled temple where entryway where you can get down into Amani's lair?
Wait, Tosh, real quick, tell me, what's the cultural policy on like fashionably late? Like 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
Look, dragons live for a long time. I feel like their concept of late is really birth. As long as we arrive this week, she's probably fine.
I feel like 30's a bit much, right?
You would think. Why? You got something to do?
No,
Like,
I'm
you
just
know what I'm
wondering. Like,
saying? Look,
I'm
you're
trying
gonna
to
be
make
late.
a
You
good
might as well
impression
get.
here. We got a lot on the line.
Yeah, we do. But like, I honestly believe she's just gonna take us up on the offer. If he's not already dead and the blue dragons aren't already retreating back to their lair to lick their wounded, I'd say that she's gonna take us up on our offer. Like, this helps everybody. This helps everybody here in this situation. In my
That's
opinion.
fine. We'll go the boring route. We'll be 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys start making your way through town, past the market, and outside of the little makeshift temple that you go through to get to the stairs that descend down to Amani's lair. You see your old pal Mosalon, and he says, "Ah, hello, my friends.
Hey, Mo Salon, good morning.
It's good to see you all. You're all looking very good, well rested."
Thank you. It's good to be back in the city.
The wonders a mattress can do.
No kidding.
And he looks at you, Brynjar, and he says, "You, my friend, what is your name again?"
You can call me Brit.
Brit.
Brit with an N. Mm.
Bryn with an N.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Well, are you ready then for your audience with Amani?
Assuming we look all right, yeah.
I'm ready to see her again.
Some of us for the first time.
All right. Your friend, the tiefling. I know.
Larissa.
Yes, I know she is going to be upset that she missed you, but she is on a very important errand right now for Amani. She has taken command of a caravan headed out east to the Sultan city.
Good for her. Moving up in the world.
And you would know by the Sultan city, she's talking about the Jewel Palace. Remember how the Jewel Palace was kind of its own city?
Yep. Big place.
Yeah.
Hard to get to.
She is going to look for rare tomes to hopefully add to the mistress's library. But I have kept you long enough. Let us go, and I know Amani is keen to see what it is that you have to offer her. And he starts to move through the temple, and he turns back around, waiting for you guys to follow him.
Let's go.
So,
Go ahead and fellas.
takes about takes a few minutes, but you finally get to the stairs and start descending. And after a few minutes, you get down into the vast open chamber that is Amani's lair, and you see her sitting up on her gilded throne. And you notice that she's sort of looking after Larissa's pseudo dragon. I think that's what it was, wasn't it?
Donut.
It was.
His
a
name is
pseudo
Donut.
dragon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Donut,
Donut.
Donut.
yes,
See, I take notes.
yes. Donut perks up a little bit when he sees all of you and kind of flies off Amani's arm and flies in between you excitedly and then flies back to Amani's arm. He's like a Disney character. a little
Yay.
bit.
Marketable. Yes.
Back when Disney didn't suck. And she says, "It is good to see all of you. Hello."
Hello. It's it's a pleasure to see you as well, Amani. I hope that your experiences with the blue dragon flights have been good.
And
Especially after-
she smiles wryly, you know, kind of a mischievous smile, and says, "We have killed many blue dragonborn. It has been a very productive couple of months since you have left."
That's
Yeah, we saw the heads out front.
Oh yes, yes. Each one is a story. It is. It has been a good hunting season,
and they were well deserved, I'm sure.
and she seems to be smiling a little bit more maybe than is probably appropriate.
Hmm.
Like there's on some level there was some kind of bloodbath that went down, and she kind of reveled in it probably.
I want to ask George, was it only dragonborn heads on the pikes?
No,
No.
there were dragons.
There were also what appeared to be young dragons.
Got it. Perfect.
Their heads also were displayed prominently.
Well, Amani, it's fantastic to hear that. And the blue dragons, of course, are a friend of Kazi's, and that means that they are an enemy to us.
And she holds up her finger
Mhm.
to kind of pause you for a moment. She
Mhm.
looks over all of you and she goes, "Where is the other cursed one?"
He dyed his hair. This is him. Don't you recognize him?
She doesn't laugh.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a human, right? Human guy, Leonardo.
All humans look the same. Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
No, he had some personal business. Probably family stuff, or maybe we needed to talk to his wife.
Mm,
Everyone make an insight check.
Yep.
Oh,
Hey.
Jesus.
Ooh. Nice.
Interesting. I'm
Watch
so
this.
insightful.
Bam. Oh wow, that's a pretty good roll. With a -1, a 16.
Well, Brynjar, you've got a +4 to it. That doesn't suck. Plus,
Hey, I have a
when
-1.
when you roll a 20, I mean,
Yeah. Hopefully, this isn't the only nat 20 of
Try
the
it
night.
again. Insight. Hold on. It's not. It's not going for her.
Oh, there he goes.
Yay.
all right.
Insightful.
Taking its time.
So, all of you can tell that Amani looks a little bit uneasy at the thought of Johann not being accounted for, just off, left alone to his own devices.
Mm-hmm.
You would also, I don't know why we rolled a second time, but
Sorry. You spam the button to make it
you-
work.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's a delay.
Sorry.
you also noticed that it was weird the way she worded it at the beginning when she noticed that Johann wasn't around. She said, "Where is the other cursed one?"
Mm-hmm. Oh, we know that Morgan is cursed, and one way.
Because
or
the
another.
gods are too afraid to come fight me themselves. That's why. They're cowards.
And now you all see why Morgan is the other cursed one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
And I'm right.
I'll say, unfortunately, we don't know where he is.
But we are pleased to introduce you to Brynjar, our new friend.
Yes, he will be
We'll give it like a kind of a curt bow.
just as competent.
And she kind of nods her head slightly in deference to you, Brynjar. But then when she sees Bert, she smiles and she begins talking in a voice that sounds like a cross between an owl and a bear.
She speaks Albaran.
Or she knows she knows the spell that lets her talk to animals.
Wow.
But she she has a little conversation back and forth, Brynjar, with Bert. Bert seems pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, hopefully he's saying good things.
It's like, I'm going to eat all of you.
They didn't feed me extra this morning. I really wanted it.
And she looks up at you, Brynjar, and she says, "Bert, as he tells me his name is he speaks very highly of you."
Oh, good. I'm glad.
There you go.
think highly of him.
Heck of a reference you got there.
And then she looks back at you, Taj, and she says, "So, what is it that has brought you to me this morning?"
So, this is in regards to the Blue Dragons.
Well, let's
We,
catch her up on our latest adventure. Let her know what we've been up to.
We have felled a few dragons ourselves. Kazi is basically getting all of his support from them. The dragons are flying him around, and we're having to carve through young and even adult dragons. We killed off one adult one at least. But the problem is that we're unsure on where his next steps are. It was a crapshoot between a couple places he could have gone. So we decided if we're going to slow him down for sure, we might as well get rid of his support. We want to take the fight to Azuramos, hoping you'd be able to assist us.
And her eyes get kind of big. As you say, we want to take the fight to Azuramos. And she says, define exactly what you mean by take the fight to. Are you looking to kill him and as much of his brood as you can, or are you just looking to find some way to scare them away or otherwise deal with them? What is it that you're truly seeking?
She seemed to enjoy the bloodshed earlier from our insight and all that. Tom's gonna lean into it and he'll say, "I hope that all the blue dragon blood that can be spilt is spilt in the Heretic Valley. All of it, every drop. I think that's a fair eye for an eye in regards to my experience with them."
Taj, give me a persuasion check.
Yay! Watch this, guys.
Oh.
Oh. Oops.
And you see her think for a moment, and then she says, "While I do not, I cannot say that I would not, I would not miss the presence of the blue dragons. I don't think you truly understand what it is that you're asking for, or that you're suggesting you get yourself into."
Well, why don't you fill us in a little bit, if you don't mind?
Azuramos is very powerful and very old, and his brood is extensive. There are much more of his kind, for example, than there are of our kind. They have whittled away our numbers over the last 1,000 years, and it it's been a sore point, a point of contention for my people. And by when she says my people, she's talking about the other members of her dragonflight, the other brass dragons.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that they've been, you've been as ill used as anyone by these flying lizards, these bastards. Honestly, we would like to get him off the board. With them on Kazi's side, we can't catch up to him. He's too fast. He can search ruins and be on the other side of the desert before we even know where he is.
What
Is there a way you think we could get stronger? I know that maybe we're not up to the task now, but can you imagine a scenario in which we could face down these dragons and win?
And she thinks for a moment, and then she kind of cocks her head to the side as she looks at you, Morgan. I would have to help you directly.
Well, we'd hate to put you out, Lady Amani, but... Well, you would know better than us. How valuable is getting this Azormos out of the way? We know he's dealt you a personal blow, and I mean, we're a little biased. Taj sort of wears it on his sleeve. He also has a personal grudge against it, but I don't want to, color your judgment too much. We don't have any leads on what Kazi's going to do next, so this is our best chance to get ahead of him. Because I don't think any sane person would expect our next move to be to go after an ancient blue dragon. So if we can catch him by surprise with this.
No sane person would decide that would be a logical next step.
Exactly.
But I I would be lying if I said that the idea of ending Azuramos' power in this region does not intrigue me. You see her kind of look to the side and think for a moment. Morgan, make a persuasion check.
Hey. All right. Come on. I just want double digits.
Yeah. Come on.
30.
There you
Jesus.
Oh,
Wow.
goodness.
And she thinks for a moment, and she says, "You mentioned that you have killed some of his brood already. Talk to me of those battles."
Well, there was one that was carting him around when we went to the ruins of Ansaram. He got ahead of us. He got to Heshemen before we did on the backs of one of these and sent it back to attack us. This one was small, I guess young, sort of like the smaller sizes you have out front.
And she
After that, we
nods.
ran across some. Do we still have the parts? Oh no, we just sold the parts yesterday. We need the money. Adventuring stuff work. Afterwards, we had it hooked us up with some his elite Dragonborn soldiers. They actually felled Taj, and if it wasn't for Pyre, he wouldn't be with us. Afterwards, we fought Kazi himself at the ruins, and he had the largest blue dragon I've ever seen. I was shaking in my boots when I saw this thing. The power, the presence of this thing. I don't know how we pulled that one out. Well, yeah, I do. These guys right here. And he'll put his arms around Bryn and Taj, who are next to him, and Pyre as well. Honestly, I would have never thought we could do it, but these guys didn't give up. We managed to lay that thing low. And we would have got Kazi too, but the coward got away. He has these artifacts already that give him such an advantage over us. It's hard for us to pin him down. But if we can clip his wings from under him, if we can leave him stranded, plus get revenge for Taj, plus get revenge for you, I mean, that sounds like a win for everybody.
The desert might take him if if blue dragons leave him in there. Be easy.
What is it that you are having trouble with bringing Kazi down?
Unfortunately, he has the steps of the sand. We can't make him fight us to the death. He's just going to leave when it's not going his way.
I see.
He hates us. He wants to come after us. We've confirmed this. He conveniently dropped this note to that effect last time we fought, but
And anytime we're fighting him, we have to carve through a couple dragons to just to touch him.
it's
He
true. He can
blows
summon undead.
those
He has dragons carting him around. All he has to do is wait until he has enough dragons to wipe us out, and then bam. These artifacts are his. He gets exactly what he wants. And the story ends in a very bad way.
You see her thinking for a moment, like deep thought, like she's like got a furrowed brow and she's kind of looking down at her feet. Then she looks up at you, Taj, and she says, "If this is the case, then the desert will not take him. He commands the desert."
Yeah, we're not that lucky, unfortunately.
But he can be slowed down. I'm sure that his that those steps of the sands aren't just portaling him everywhere, or he'd already have everything by now.
It helps him for sure. He can slip out of a fight, but I doubt he can cross as fast as on the back of a dragon. Otherwise, why would he keep doing that?
Exactly. We're here to take out your biggest rival here.
I can see you're not convinced, and honestly, I wouldn't be either. Maybe you could arrange a test, you gauge how strong we are, see where we're at. I think maybe a little more information will help us all make a better decision.
Pretty good system. I'll kind of tap Brynjar's plate
And
and
you
fire as well, and says we're now all resistant to the breath of the dragon.
you see you see her stand now to her full height, and she's a little taller than the average, female woman out here would be. Female woman, as opposed,
Mm-hmm.
she's taller than
Yeah.
the average female out here.
Yeah.
For an Alcaraki. But of course, you know that she's not just an Alcaraki. And on the wall behind her, because she is lit up by two large braziers in front of her. You see now as she stands, you see her shadow sort of morph into her true form, and wings extend out from her back, sort of flexing, like her posture is kind of, standing straight up. And she looks at you, Morgan, and she says, "If I was not convinced, if I was of the opinion that what you're talking about is complete folly, I would have already dismissed you."
All right then. So, where are we at?
I need assurances that if I go into battle with you, that you have the power it takes to bring Azuramos down. If something happens to me, the people here in Zambar are unprotected. So if we rush off to confront Azuramos and then it does not go well, it will not go well for Zambar. And she motions for Mosalon. She motions over at him. Mosalon, Anwar, all of the people you have met here in this city would be doomed.
We
Wow.
understand we're asking for a lot.
You have heard the old adage, when you aim for your enemy, you must make sure that you do not miss. And you must make sure that you finish the job.
I won't lie by saying that my heart's fully in this because I would like nothing more than to be as far away from an ancient blue dragon as physically possible. But I will fight with my friends to the very end. And if this is what they want to do for whatever godforsaken reason has come into their mind, I'm right there.
Morgan, make another persuasion check.
Double digits, please.
There you go.
And you see her think for a moment. She's standing fully tall, back straight, and then she looks down in thought, and then she sits back down, and she motions for Mosalon, and you see her whisper something to Mosalon, and then Mosalon scurries off. Worm Killer Dav, you have been down in Amani's lair now since morning.
Yep.
You got
Okay.
back into town.
Mm-hmm.
She sent you on a mission several days ago
Yeah.
to try to find Azuramos's lair and where most of his flight is gathered.
Okay.
You got back this morning with the information that she needed,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that their base of operations is right here.
Okay.
Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Little mountain butt crack there. Yep.
Yep.
So you're sitting off in a room. Water and wine has been made available to you.
Mm-hmm.
A nice selection of cooked meats,
Yep.
goat and camel,
Oh yeah.
and lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you've been made comfortable
Mm-hmm.
here in Amani City,
Okay.
and you have been waiting for an audience with her. But Mosalon comes in now,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "The mistress requests your presence."
Oh, well, it's about time. Say. Although I must say, the meat is actually excellent. I mean, great. It's been, wonderful. Oh yeah, and so so Worm Killer Dave, as he likes to call himself, he doesn't. I mean, only Omani gets away with calling him Dav, but he insists on Dave. So he gets up, he probably kind of brushes, he pats himself. There's probably a little bit of desert dust on there, from all of his travels, and so he just kind of like saunters out there, like like man, it's like now it's like kind of like walks out with Mosalon, kind of all 4'8" of him, and kind of like falls in there, kind of like all kind of like chest puffed out, kind of making wants to make himself a good impression as he can, and so he just walks out.
4'8". You're like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of dwarves.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a burly looking dwarf. Pretty robust looking. Kind of like and just kind of like tries to get to swell up to his full height there. And so yeah, he comes out there.
So yeah, you guys, you see Mosalon return with this tall dwarf, who looks stout, a little severe, maybe. Very safe to say he's very probably got a lot of battle scars.
Yep.
A
little bit on the old side, like he's seen a few years. Yeah.
And Wormkiller, you see the rest of these people before Amani, standing before Amani, having an audience with her.
Yeah.
And Mosalon motions. He looks over at Amani and motions at you, not for you, but he just kind of makes a motion with his arm towards you, and he says, "Wormkiller, Your Highness." And Amani smiles and she says, "Ah, hello. It is good to see you again."
Oh, greetings, my lady. I must say your hospitality.
I did not expect to see you back so soon.
Oh, well, you should never underestimate me, Your Majesty. After all, I am, of course, the finest dragon hunter and sometimes dragon tamer in all of Levis. So it's at the speed as expected. And then as Wormkiller talks, he says, and I see these things, and he looks over at you, Taj, and he goes, "By Morden's bloody beard, Taj the Warlock." And he goes over to you, Taj, and he basically grabs your hand and slaps you really hard back. "How you doing, you righteous bastard? It's been like what? How many years has it been since we last saw that? Because what was it? How was it? How you doing?"
I want to insight check this guy. I refuse to believe he would recognize some random bundled up guy that he has no way of knowing if it's the same guy he met years ago.
I'm wearing the same headdress and the same goggles.
Well,
So it's all me, really.
Taj dresses like his people, and his people aren't around anymore. So he's
one guy, and I have a gun. So
so he's probably the only one that looks like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's fair.
I think he kind of ponders for a moment and says, "You are so familiar."
Oh, I know it's been a while. I mean, with your travel. And he says, "Oh, where are my manners? I should introduce myself." And he basically says, "Allow me." He says, "I am Davin Suleiman Cornelius Thornhummer of the Mosshammer clan." What if those illustrious names are too difficult for you to pronounce or memorize?
They are.
I'm also known far and wide as Wormkiller Dave.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Morgan.
I remember.
It's the only name you're getting out of me.
Yes. And by the way, any kind of whispers, the only person who's allowed to call me Dav is the mistress. If anyone else calls me Dav, I will box your ears.
If you call me Morgan of Limetown, I'll kill you in your sleep. Nice to meet you.
Morgan. I say, "Nice to meet you, Morgan." And he's like basically says, and he's like, and then he goes to Pyre, and he goes, "Hello, my lady," and he basically bows his hand, basically makes a gesture to basically, he says, basically kind of kiss her hand there a little bit, kind of being a little bit gentlemanly as possible.
His lips are rough and parched.
Nice as any man has ever treated me with any dignity. So I am.
By the way, you can also hint he probably smells a little bit like moist sand and sweat. So probably needs to.
That's probably what we all smell like.
Low bar, to be honest.
Why is standing in liquefied mummy? We're fine.
Yeah.
Why was the sand moist?
Good question.
It wasn't moist till I got there.
Oh no! Look over there. A segue to something else.
Moist maker.
he goes to Brenyar. He goes, "Well met, sir." And then he looks at probably Bert is on his shoulder, right?
Correct.
And he like flinches, like he does a double take. Goes, "Gosh, man, what the hell? What in Basmos' asshole is that?"
That's Bert.
That's Bryn. He's just a guy.
Bert, by the
Hi,
way, since
Bryn.
you asked earlier, Bert is fairly big. He's big in the, he's not so big that you can't carry him. But he's about as big as a pit bull.
Yeah.
Like an
So
adult
perched
pit
on
bull.
my shoulder is probably not where he would be.
I mean, I
With
feel,
difficulty.
I feel like if a pit bull wanted to be perched on your shoulder, the pit bull would just be perched on your shoulder.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this is also true.
Yeah. He's kind of like a little bit alarmed by the things. It's like, I mean,
He's
and you
harmless.
still have wait, you still have all your fingers left intact?
And then Bern will give Bert a pat on the head, a little scratch between the ears.
Oh, well, all right then. I mean, as long as he's tame, I suppose. Just and he kind of like nervously kind of puts his hands behind his back so the albino won't see his because he's afraid that his finger's gonna get nipped off. So he's just like,
Bernard, you do in fact see Bert eyeing Worm Killer's fatty digits. Probably looking at them like they're
Sausages.
like they're
Yeah.
sausages.
yeah. So he says, oh, and then the Worm Killer turns to him and says, oh, pardon my abruptness, Lady Armani, but it's just haven't met. I felt that introductions with all, and it's been a while since I've seen my good friend Taj, my former comrade at arms, Tajwala. So it's nice. I just figured, so the emotion just came over me, as it sometimes does.
It's a pleasure to see you, Dave. It has been a long time, a good time, but a long time.
Yes.
Hi, Dave.
We've had some progress dealing with some particularly pesky worms down here. The blue dragon.
Did you see some of my handiwork outside the gates?
Oh, that was you. Well, then that's.
Well, not all of me. I must admit. I mean, I just made a small part. I mean, I can't take all the credit. I mean, after all, Amani did some, did most of the handiwork and some of thing. But I did my part. As sometimes often do, with moderation, of course.
That's good to hear. The Ashuramos' brood is actually the topic of the conversation. We have an enemy that
And
is
as
allied
soon
with
as you say Azuramos, he goes, "Oh, so you're going after Big Blue?"
We hope so.
Oh,
We've been asking
It's the topic of
Amani
discussion
this,
here.
task,
it's
and
about-
it's a mighty one.
well, it's about time someone showed that overgrown horse on or a horny toad is what for. If that's what we're talking about, I'm all ears.
It's appreciated. We could use all the help we can get. We're not.
Yeah, especially if you can kill a dragon with just your ears.
Oh, I've killed some with my thumbs. Does that count?
Probably. I wouldn't know.
Oh, he says, "Oh."
But I fear we're boring
think
Lady
so.
Amani, wasting her time. So
Yes.
It just so happens, coincidentally, I had dispatched Worm Killer here to see if he could locate Azuramos's lair and where most of his brood is located. He returned this morning. I had not had a chance to meet with him yet, and she looks at you now, Dave, and she says, "What information have you brought?"
ooh, yes,
Well-
spill the tea, my man.
So he is basically he's a worm killer on his arm, and his little nest of blue horny toads are basically nestled in deeper within the mountains there. Fortunately, I managed to sneak in there a little bit, despite the armor I'm wearing, and he's held it pretty well. Though I will say, he says, it's almost like as though he is basically. It's almost like he seems to be biding his time for something to happen. I mean,
So
I've
logistically,
seen a lot of activity. I've seen a lot of activity flying about out though from that place.
logistically, Worm Killer, you know that there is actually an access point directly above where he lairs.
Yes.
so that he can easily get in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that that would be a vulnerable point, were he
Mhm.
not an ancient dragon.
Yep.
So the fact that he is so powerful probably puts him in a false sense of security about, no one's going to
Mm.
jump in there because of who he is.
Right. Yeah. So he says, so there is, however, like ever a dragon there, a weak point. Above it, he says there's a place where there's a place high above the layer. I think it's very quite that can be easily overlooked in the now, and that way where someone with preferably with range and someone who has a special know-how could easily rain down blows on top of them if they so wish. Um, but he says, but I will, but I meant it's not an easy path to go up there to get that to that certain vantage point. Whether or not that there will basically now, granted, whether um Asmodeus will actually stay in the lair and let the things rain down on him is another story. But his lair is accessible from this one spot. Fortunately,
Asmodeus, congratulations, you're now
Asmodeus.
fighting a devil.
Oh, great, we've leveled
Okay.
up. Our
Oh,
chances stay the same of success.
Azuramo, excuse me. All right.
Or
Azuramo. So,
Asmodeus.
yeah, right. Why, right? Okay.
Yeah.
He says, all right. So he says, so Azuramos is just sitting comfortably. He says, being the arrogant son of gun that he is, he says he thinks that vantage point does not exist. Fortunately, I know where it is, and I could find it again. Just it ain't very quite easily. You know, I just
All
he
right,
says if
that's good
we are going to plan
information.
an expedition toward that place, I mean, he says, well, I do need to both probably some um skilled warriors, preferably those who have a little bit of experience and they know who know and who know how to who know how to handle dragon.
And
But
Amani stands one more time,
Mm-hmm.
and she looks between you, Dave, and Taj, and says, "Here is what I propose. I will dispatch some of my brood to go and ensure that, not that I don't trust Dave, but to just verify that that is where Azuramos' lair is. We will only get one chance at this. I cannot stress
Mm-hmm.
that enough." And she kind of looks at each of you, like very seriously. And then
And
once my spies have returned back to me to verify that that is the location, at that point, once we know for sure, we will go there the next morning. And she looks back at you, Dave,
mm-hmm.
and she says, "Dave, I would like you to spend the next day, the rest of today and tomorrow, teaching the others what you know of fighting dragons."
Oh, it'd be my honor, madame. Oh, and incidentally, and he pulls out like a map, basically kind of a crude map that he actually did, and he's circled where which the circled like where the passage is, and he hands it to her. He says, "You may need to acquire of this. I've already basically prepared. I've already, in anticipation of your audience, I've already made directions on on the location of the passage." And he
Very
hands
good.
it to her.
And she takes it and she hands it over to Mosalon with a couple of hurried instructions for him to dispatch this to two of her fastest brood. And you see him leave the chamber. He nods to her and then leaves the chamber.
Hmm.
And she looks over at the rest of you and says, "Azuramos, if we do manage to end him, will have a considerable horde. I will claim half of that for Zambar." And
Naturally.
the way she says that, like she's not proposing it. She's just telling you how it's going to go.
hmm we are buying a couple brass dragons for this task. I think we got. I
It's
think
more than fair.
it's a
Yeah.
fair price.
And then out of the half that you earn, I expect for Dave to be compensated very handsomely for bringing us
Hey,
this
what?
information.
Naturally, what 4 can split, 5 can split just as easily.
And she nods. And she says, we will also, should we live through this,
Big if.
we will arrange for your half to be brought here to Zambar and kept in my vaults until you can figure out how you want to get it back to wherever it is that you want to get it back to.
You're far too kind.
I will waive any sort of holding fee or administrative fee if we are successful.
Whew. All right, now I'm starting to get excited about this. I wasn't super enthused before, but it's growing on me. The idea is growing on me.
Very well.
Uh,
Then over the next 2 days, I want you all to pay close attention to the lessons that Dave has to teach you. And then we will see what my brood reports back to me. And then we will make our move. So, first of all, Dave,
Yes.
describe to us the sort of training you give to the others over the next 2 days.
Okay, so the first thing he's gonna do, he kind of treats it like a drill sergeant thing. He goes, I want. So he goes, he asks like the first question. He says, why do you want to go after dragons?
Really
you
don't.
answer again. I'm happy to tell you.
I know why Tajawal you want to go after him because it's all about you want restitution. But I mean, are you all that eager to die, or are you
I don't
just?
have anything better to do.
I've killed quite a few of them at this point.
Oh, really?
Literally was about to be
And what size
stolen.
were what size were those? By the way, show your lad.
They're pretty big. I don't know.
You did kill that really big one.
Oh,
Bless you.
pretty big. What was the wing? You know the wingspan? Do you know how you know? Do you know the wingspan? Like they're just like
You know,
just a
he didn't stop to let us measure him while we were fighting
Yeah.
him, and he was collapsing half a ruin
Oh.
underneath us and blasting us with lightning. So
So you would say that they were basically they were just pretty big. I mean, he says, well, here's the thing: if you're going up against Asmodeus, he's the biggest. He is
Asmodeus, you say, Lord of Hell.
well, he is. He might as well. Azormos might as well be Asmodeus.
You make the mistake one more time, he is going to actually put him in there. Yeah.
He's hanging out with his good friend Azormos.
Yeah, you might as well be going after the Lord of Hell, given the size of Asmodeus. Not many people basically need this. Even I, Worm Killer Dave, the most famous, the greatest dragon on the land, is not crazy enough to actually go. Is not crazy, well, not yet, to go after him. I mean, that's all. It is a challenge, I will admit. But if you're going to be going after something like going after something like him, you're going to have to you are going to have to be as cunning and crafty as he is. Because dragons, contrary to popular belief, are not stupid.
Taj, you would know this guy actually does have a little bit of that reputation that he's claiming to have.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually some of that. He's actually not completely bullshitting us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's a
actually
little bit- yeah.
It's like 70%.
he's like
Yeah.
he's a little like Crocodile Dundee, except with
Yeah.
dragons.
He's a little bit. You probably suspect he was a little touched in the head from staying out in the desert sun for a long time, but
Yeah.
he does know a thing or two. I mean, some of his methods are a little bit unorthodox. Like
He knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two.
Yeah, he also claims that he also basically makes a claim like he says, so are you after the rich? Are you after the riches and everything?
Doesn't hurt.
What
Literally here for religious freedom, my friend.
riches?
But you know, if the riches are there, I mean, it'd be irresponsible to just leave it
So
lying
why are
around.
you so why are you so eager to provide them of the food supply?
Something-
We're gonna kill them anyway.
Provider of their food supplies and get.
Well, don't you? He says, look,
Oh.
you think that they just collect a bunch of gold and jewels
I'm
and rubies and
You're not
everything
being
just for
eaten by my family. I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, good. Well, good for you. You're good for you, lad. He says, like so you need the experience. Well, don't worry. He says, you learn. Keep a close eye. Go touch on it on me, and you'll do fine. And he says, but I'm going to. But here's the thing. Those
There are
riches and
times
gold that you.
There are times, you guys, when Dave sounds like Yoda when Yoda's kind of sinister. You know, like when
Oh.
Luke says, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid." And
Yeah.
Yoda's like, "Oh,
Oh,
you
you
will
have no
be."
idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so Dave is
there are
like,
moments when Dave's kind of a little like that.
yeah. And Dave is basically, he goes, is like, you realize, of course, that those gold and jewels and everything, that's what they eat when they're not chowing down on little bit of morsels like you. How do you think their fire gets? How do you think that like? How do you think their breath gets fueled? You think they just have that gold sitting around because they just like shiny pearly things? Or some of them do.
And then there are other times he comes off like Gary Busey
Yeah.
I see it.
after a bender.
Kind of
He's
a
also and he also tells him, he also says, now tell me something. He says, what's the first rule tell me what the first rule of dragon hunting is.
don't fight a dragon that can fly.
Well, they all fly, Taj.
Well,
As
in
you know.
like if you're going to pick a fight with a dragon, don't pick one where he can take off, recharge his breath, come back, torch you, and then leave, and then come back later.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it would
close
suck.
enough, but the closest thing, of course,
Stay
is
away.
always keep on the move, because after all,
Yeah.
if a dragon is smart, they will never go on the ground. The only time they will go on the ground is because when they think that, oh, you're that close to death. Typically, they just like to fly around and just basically spray things. They shoot their little firebolts and lightning and what have you. So what the best thing
we
is,
already have an answer for that. I've made good efforts of using the web spell against them. I've downed one.
That's true. That thing would have blasted us to pieces if he hadn't acted, Taj.
good. You need to basically, what we need to do is basically, if they do get airborne, that's the tricky part. We need to basically anchor them so they basically don't circle strafe and fire down upon us. That's the one thing.
Anything that can bind their wings, like an ensnaring strike or web or even a grapple, entangle.
Indeed. Let's see. The other thing, he says, one other thing too. The other thing also, about the dragon thing, they can be certain breeds can be very arrogant. So you need to know how to exploit that against them. Particularly blue dragons. Blue dragons are found to be, on the most part, a little bit on the late. He says they call them lazy. I think that because I prefer the term relaxed. They like to like basically sit back and just like that like they like to have their minions do most of the work. Rarely do they get aggravated.
So they'll be on the back foot when we, knock down their door.
Indeed, yes.
I put a real quick. I put a thing in the Discord for y'all.
Okay. All right. Let me take a look at it.
There you go.
Let's see.
That's how they are.
So the
He's
other
giving
thing
off that
also,
he's giving off that kind of vibe right now.
Mhm.
yeah. Oh yeah. Interesting enough, that's kind of where I'm basing him a little bit on.
Lifeless eyes, black eyes.
Yeah, the lifeless eyes.
Like a
yeah.
doll's eyes.
And he says, yes. He says, he says, yeah. So what we're going to need to do is we need to get a lot of rope, and we're going to need some weights.
We're gonna need some bigger rope.
Yes, we're going to need lots of rope, lots of rope, lots of weights. Basically, weigh these down.
Are you sure, like
Oh.
ropes instead of like heavy chain?
See,
Well, we have to
the
transport it over there.
chain would be good, but chain is expensive. I mean, sometimes
dragon slaying on a budget. I'm all about it.
Yes. Well, see, the thing is,
Do we
the
have a bag
chain-
of
the
holding or something?
well, yeah, he says. Oh, by the way, do any of you happen to have Dragon Slayer weapons?
Nah, too expensive.
We got a price check on them, and then we'll have our budget. Do you?
Those are overrated, especially if you're going to get especially if you get late.
Says the
Oh,
guy
good.
who used to do stupid damage with the one he had, the short sword that he had in the last
Yeah.
campaign.
especially if you get the sword shot. Those are useless. Those things. I mean, yeah. Oh,
I
good
guess if
luck.
they're
I mean,
flying around, you can't really stab them.
Yeah, so you go. Basically, the best thing you do is you basically you might as well just throw it at them, because if they're going to be flying around, it's like only the foolish dragon would basically come down and basically like allow him to get stabbed with a little tiny little short sword. Maybe if you could. He says. Now, the other thing too is the thing. They say, what do you have for it in the way of protection?
I have some
We
old
actually
condoms in my
have-
wallet.
armor resistant to lightning, which I can actually provide you if you don't already have it.
Yeah. So if we're going to go after Big Blue. We're going to need a lot of we're going to need a lot of like resistance of that. So definitely we need to prepare. We definitely need to get So it's God, Taj. I'd like your Taj Water. Like the fact that you're on top of things as usual.
Appreciate that. We'll get that update on your armor. Just give me a long rest to
Of course.
set it up and give me some time with it in the morning.
Now the other thing is too is like now I want to see how well your mobility is going to be. Just to give a little bit of test.
Always gonna have you guys do drills.
Yep.
Yeah, suicides.
I'm gonna have him do drills. So basically, so it says, so I want everyone, and so he walks away. He like basically walks away like a couple of feet. He says, and then he's like, and he says, now I want you not to be alarmed when I do the yard, and I want to see how fast you can move. And so when he says that, after he says that, he takes out his bow and pulls out an arrow and just fires at you guys.
Run! Fucking
So
cover. You want an athletics check for our?
I'll shoot back at him.
mobility?
Athletics or acrobatics. We're looking for a DC. We'll say DC 17. Oh,
Ow!
oh.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
by the way, the
Oh, I
arrow is
spoke too
blunted,
soon.
so it's not actually gonna. It's not gonna. It
Oh,
doesn't
it's
like
blunt.
real. It
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
pierce you, but it stings like a. It
The
stings
the same arrow ricochets off of all of you and hits you each in turn.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
The
I
last
didn't
person that it hits is Brynjar, and Bert manages to snap at it with his beak and bite it in half.
Yeah.
Oh, what the
And by
fuck?
the- it's not
That
enough.
hurt.
It's not enough to actually. It's not enough to actually go into the skin, but it's basically like enough to try. It's almost like you're getting hit with like a frozen a paintball almost the way
Oh,
it hits.
That does fucking sting.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be glad it wasn't a peppercorn.
My fucking hand.
Everyone
Fuck.
say hi to Barrymore and thank him for subscribing. He has subscribed to the channel for 20 months now.
Oh, very
Thank you,
good.
Barrymore.
Long-time supporter.
Okay.
Thank you,
We're doing
Barrymore.
it.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
I think it's
You keep us
So-
on the air.
So Wormkiller's like, that could have gone better. All right. So we need to work on your mobility just a bit. You know, and so he's like, let's try that again, and he fires another one. So-
No,
Same-
wait.
Same thing.
Oh, thank God.
Ah, there we go.
oh
no.
dude.
I refuse. I'm using my indomitable feet.
Okay.
You don't want to lose to Morgan.
No,
Oh.
hits you square in the forehead.
So this time, it doesn't hit anybody except Brynjar, and it hits Brynjar square between the eyes. And Brynjar, you thought you were really doing a good job. You thought you were You thought you
You
were
zigged when you should have zagged.
yeah. Yeah, and it not only that, it hits you hard, and it kind of rings your bell. You're like, oh, damn it, ow.
Now I'm embarrassed.
Brainyard just face palms. He's just like, oh, cool.
Brynjar face palms? He probably is rubbing his face. 'Cause you shot him in the face.
Wormkiller just face palms like this. He's like, oh. And he
Yeah, he's
thinks
gonna
he's
start
fine.
like limbering up now. He's gonna start stretching. Yeah.
And
All
by
right.
the way, he looks at you, Brynjar, and you can just tell by his eyes. It's like, yeah, you're going to be the first to die. So
Wow.
Jeez.
Um,
All right.
he's already
Good
got you
hustle,
pegged.
team.
Brynjar, when you look at Bert's oddly amused by the
Sure.
fact that you got it
Traitor.
between the eyes. He thinks
Betrayal.
you could tell he
Burn
thinks
out in
that's a
front
little.
of
He thinks it's a little funny.
So
All right.
And
Good
this, by
hustle,
the
team.
way,
I'm
this-
gonna go hit the little rogues room. I'll be right back. And Morgan's gonna
Okay,
ditch the
yeah.
training.
yeah, but basically he's doing this arrow thing, like having these guys run and dodge the arrows that he's firing at him or anything, like for like the next hour.
You dodge a
So
wrench, you
Oh.
can dodge a ball.
yeah, basically again to try to see if they, how fast they can move, how basically to try to see because again, if they can't dodge an arrow, they certainly can't dodge dragon fire, so or dragon lightning in this case. So just to see how well. So yeah.
All
and
right.
Probably these. Yeah.
So you've done this for 2 days now. You've done these drills with Worm Killer Dave.
Mm-hmm.
I need everyone to make an intelligence check, and you're looking
Okay.
for DC 15.
Okay.
Nah.
Oh no!
Can I use my flash of genius?
You can.
Yeah, I'll take it. Plus
So
5.
Worm Killer, I've also got to make an intelligence check too, or
No, you do not, Worm
okay.
Killer.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I'll ask. There's something else I want to do instead of training. Would I still have to do this save?
Yeah.
All right. Intelligence save. Yeah. Nah.
Or not intelligence save, just roll intelligence.
Oh.
Is that
It's
different
the
from an
same.
intelligence save?
I mean, technically, if you're not proficient in it, yeah.
No, it's the same stat for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. None of you actually got this. If one of you had at least gotten
well,
a 15.
If I use flash of genius, I have an 18.
Okay. All right. Then, Taj, you're the only one that's going to benefit from this. During the upcoming fight, you can have advantage either on an attack roll or a saving throw.
Ooh, I'm gonna pick a saving throw.
Okay. Write that down somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
Dodge lightning.
The rest of you, I don't know, maybe should have paid more attention and not be stupid.
Should have stayed in school.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
While they're doing this, having a lot of fun, team bonding, I would like to talk with Amani if she has time.
You have to find Mosalon. This is the next day.
Yep.
To see if Amani is free. Give me a persuasion check.
Double digits. Come on. 20.
Okay. He tells you that she does have quite an itinerary today. She's trying to make a lot of preparations before you guys leave, for in case she doesn't come back. But he says she can see you. He can probably squeeze you in for about 10 or 15 minutes.
That's all I need. Thank you, Mosalon.
All right. So he takes you in to Amani's chamber. And what would you like to discuss with her?
Lady Amani, I'm sorry, I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm sure you're busy. But I think we all know who the weak link on this team is. We all know that I'm not much of a fighter. I've been through a few fights, but that's mostly luck rather than any actual skill. So I was thinking, how can I do more to help this team? Because I don't want to die. I don't want to watch all of you die. And there is something I could think of. It's kind of a long shot, though, and I need your help. So Morgan will step forward a bit, and he will pull out the 12 soul diamonds he has and say, I would like to go to the City of Brass, and I would like to use these to bargain for some more firepower.
And she kind of opens her eyes real big, and she's like, the City of Brass, all by yourself.
That's right. They don't know about this.
And she thinks for a moment, and she takes the diamonds that are offered.
Yep.
And then she tells you, what is it that you think you would look for in the City of Brass?
I mean, at this point, everything but the kitchen sink would be useful, but I want to find a way to draw out the rest of my potential. I know some of it's still locked away. I can do more. I know I'm close. I can feel it. But I'm lagging behind everybody else. And I don't want to watch another group of friends die. So that's it. I'm willing to go sell the souls of whatever poor saps got stuck in here in exchange for whatever power I can get.
So, I think what she mainly would be looking for, you can talk about to me out of character. She's kind of getting for like what are you looking for? What kind of power is it? She's like wanting to know, are you looking for like a magic item? are you looking
Uh,
for? And if so, what kind of magic item?
Can you turn your warlock levels into rogue levels?
I was thinking that. A second chance, really,
Maybe
to bring
there's
out my
like
full potential.
maybe there's like a night hag or something who can offer the experiences of a talented thief or something.
Yep. Or just a sort of re-roll of fate, maybe something else entirely.
There you go.
Maybe Morgan the Bard. You never know.
There you go.
That would be even more annoying, wouldn't it?
I-
But
I
yeah,
think-
just a way to bring out Morgan's full potential, to sort of get rid of or exchange the warlock levels anchoring around his neck.
Losing my buddy.
You're keeping your buddy.
And she thinks for a moment, and she says, "I know but of one way."
Ooh.
Is it really easy and convenient?
It is, but I do not know that it is a path you will take.
That doesn't sound easy or convenient. Let's hear it. I've come this far.
You must beseech your former patron.
Well, we tried everything, and I guess that's that.
Maybe
Didn't
you
work
should
out.
say, hey, you should go. You should go for the draconic sorcerer. Says, hey, I just need a little bit of dragon in me. Can we work something out? Bow chicka wow wow.
Okay, define beseecher, right? Like, because we're not like on speaking. She never liked me. I'm gonna be honest.
You're
think-
going to have to atone for the insults that you have shown to your patron.
Insults? Was it really insulting?
I mean, is it like a gang initiative? Is it a pinky? I can lose a pinky.
You're going to have to talk with them and be honest with them.
2 pinkies. Fuck!
And she smiles and she kind of lays the blackened diamonds back out in front of you. And says, "That is the only thing I can think to balance the scales in the way that you are looking for."
Come on, you can't tell me with 12 diamonds full of souls, there's not some demon willing to make a deal to power me up somehow. Fuck.
And she kind of looks at you for a moment and she goes, "Who do you think that I am?"
I'm brainstorming here. I'm trying to work, trying to figure something out to help us all.
Why do you think I would consort with demons?
You sent us to the city of brass, where they sell
Via-
souls and stuff.
Via a portal, yes, but that is a city that is largely run by devils, not demons.
I'm not caught up on my demon entomology, or my fiend entomology. Sorry.
Give me an insight check, Morgan.
Oh, I'm so good at these. Watch this. Oh, wow. That was an outlier and shouldn't be counted.
You can tell that you have grievously slighted her.
Listen, I can tell by the way you're glaring at me like you want to kill me that you want to kill me. But listen, I have a rough history with my patron.
She cuts you off, and she holds up her hand, and she stands up again, taller than normal, and her
Wow, you're really tall.
shadow on the back of the wall, lit by the braziers, once again, much larger than she is, with those wings expanding. And she says, "It is not that I do not want to help you. I was honest with you in that I can only think of one way to help you. If you are not willing to take the steps to effect that, then I cannot help you. I do not know any demons for you to make deals with. You know the way out." And she sits back down. She sits back down and starts drinking wine.
Yep. Morgan will go. And he will go find Pyre.
All right, so you guys are still training with Worm Killer Dave. Pyre, you see Morgan walking up, maybe a little dejected. Maybe a little sad sacky, maybe a little Charlie Brown, holiday special.
Definitely has a grim look on his face. I need to borrow Pyre for a little bit. Sorry, guys. Good, keep up the good work. I'm right with you right after this.
Morgan?
Yep, need your help.
Yeah, I can totally help you. How can I help?
All right, let's do this away from everyone else. Very important.
Oh,
Very
whoa,
secret.
whoa.
Oh, okay.
And once they're off in a private area, it's like, I need your help because I had an idea, and Amani, who I have terribly offended and is probably going to kill us all when this is done, told me the only way for me to unlock my full potential, to get back the part of me that's broken, is to beseech my former patron, Safara. You don't know her, but she saved my life, and she convinced me I could try to do some good. And she believed in me, and I let her down. And I was scared that I'd ruined it. So she ditched me. I didn't talk to her when she called me, and I haven't heard from her since. So I don't know any way to contact her, except you're a cleric of Amara, and she was a servant of Amara. Any chance you have a very specific ability to call one specific angel and get a message to her that I want to talk to her? If you don't, that's completely cool. You know, we tried everything, didn't work out. But do you have any kind of magic ritual or prayer or something you think might help?
Yes, probably all of
You don't. You can say no. You can say that I objectively don't deserve this shot, and that's that.
That's not Mara's way. Mara's way is always, if you want to atone and seek forgiveness, we should show compassion.
Listen.
But then there's Safara, and Safara is also sick of your bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never quite now.
She will feel sorry as fuck for you, Morgan, but she's all right. So Pyre, you think that if you pray to Amara, that Amara, you may be able to have Amara force Safara to have an audience with Morgan. But it's going to have to be a good prayer, meaning you're going to have to roll high on religion.
We're level 10, right?
Yeah.
We're not level
Yes.
10.
If she was level 11, she could cast Planar Ally and literally.
If only she was.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a little bit of living on prayer.
It's going to be a religion check for this prayer. If you're super descriptive, I will give you advantage on it. If you tell us what kind of ritual you perform, how you get it ready,
What do you have Morgan do?
what kind of candles, what do you have Morgan do? Does he have to be angry and coated in butter?
Pinky. Left or right?
I am before you, frustrated and sticky.
This is going to suck, Morgan, to do this.
Just left or right? Just say it.
You need to write an apology letter and actually mean it for me to burn, to give, to send the proper message of apologies and of begging of forgiveness.
Okay, we're brainstorming. What else do we got? What's option B?
I need that from you, and I'm going to go get some candles, and I'm going to go prep a prayer circle.
Fuck.
Yeah, that is humiliating enough. I think that it deserves the advantage.
Wonderful. Because how I'm going to do it, I'm not done yet.
Because Morgan's going to have to actually tell us what he puts in the letter.
Yes. He has to write an apology letter, and we're going to burn it.
You're very smart. I am very stupid.
We're going to burn it, and it's going to send the proper message off to her, hopefully. I'm going to be praying with my prayer wheel because I have one of those and I've been wanting to use it, but I don't want to break it. I made it. It's really really bad because I made it myself while in prison.
I think, given the circumstances, it's pretty good.
But it's mine and I love it.
Guess that's what's important, right?
So yes, you start writing your apology letter. I'm going to start getting the candles and stuff ready. I'll see you at the at our I'll see you at the temple.
Oh, they love me there. It's great.
All right, and while Morgan composes his I suck letter to Safara, and while Pyre prepares her candles and everything, I'm going to go get a Dr Pepper Zero. I'll be right back.
All right.
Damn, honestly, my mouth's kind of dry. I got apparently some talking to do.
Oh, some actual character development for Morgan. Oh, good
Drag
deal.
kicking and screaming into the character building.
Yep. Let's see.
You wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Probably this whole time, probably now Worm Killer Dave is like teaching them like where the vulnerable spot. Everybody like where the vulnerable spots are. For the dragon to like basically like oh you got like it's like here and here, not here, here, and all this stuff like basically like making them sure like making sure they know where to hit him, find him and stuff. But yeah, it's like yeah. So let's see, and okay.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Come back.
I need to. My phone's charging in the other
I'm
room.
back.
left.
I need to send you a photo of our dog's newest squeaker toy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best. It's a little Dr. Pepper.
And I hope you guys appreciate the sacrifice Morgan is making here for you.
Oh, yeah, this is
no,
gonna be
very
fun.
much so. Yeah, this is a long time coming.
This is gonna be fun.
It's very exciting.
Figure I'll give the people what they want every now and then.
I have to start setting something up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a pinky, I don't think.
All right. So I think Kelsey's giving us or getting ready to send us a screenshot or something here.
Mm-hmm.
I think
My
she's.
phone's in the other room.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Just
I'll
use
send it
Alex's phone.
after- I'll put it in Visa chat after game today.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right.
So, he's got to write the letter. He's got to burn
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
You got any more details?
So I have candles. And I'm making them in a. I'm putting them like 5 candles underneath the statue to Amara, and I'm going to be burning the apology letter in it to send the message off. And I'm also gonna be praying with my prayer wheel, which is like a 5th grader's art. It's kind of more like a kindergarten's art and craft project.
Okay.
It's the thought that counts for these things, I think.
It does with Amara. It does. It really does. Because remember, I made it when I was in prison.
The more you put into it, the more you get out.
Again, Cleric is the only class where thoughts and prayers can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right, yeah. Morgan's got a quill or a whatever they can writing instrument they use, probably a quill. maybe like a proper pen or something. But yeah, he's agonizingly slowly writing out what he's going to, what he would say. Let me know when you're ready for that, George. When you
All right, I think we're ready. What sort of note do you write to Safara before Pyre burns it?
Yeah, he will start with the beginning. He will say, "You saved my life. I never knew why. I still don't. But I'd lost everything, everyone I loved. You saved my life. You saved me from myself when I wanted to just drink away my problems. You pushed me to be better. He helped me find good people who are the only thing keeping me together these days. And I failed you. There's no two ways about it. I can't be the man that you wanted me to be. I'm sorry that I couldn't." And he'll trail off there for a second. He'll continue after a brief gap. He'll say, "Sorry, taking a drink. Probably should have done that earlier."
You actually write that out?
Yes, obviously. He's narrating. He hired someone to dictate it to, so can't be bothered to write it himself. But I was angry, honestly, after you abandoned me. I'd lost everyone, and losing you hurt a lot more than I was willing to admit. The only person who ever really believed I could do some good in this world. I'm sorry. I'm sure you don't care what I've been up to since then, but I need your help. I know it's unbelievably rude and selfish and thoughtless of me to ask you, but people are going to die if I don't do this. There's a part of me that still sits with you. It's part of me that's broken, and I don't know if it can ever be fixed. But I'm asking if you can help me one last time. Maybe I can't be the man you want me to be, but I think you were right, and I can still do some good. And that'll be it.
All right.
Then he'll tear it up and then decide he's against the whole thing. It's like, you know what?
Oh,
I'm having second
God.
thoughts. No, he'll give the letter to Pyre.
All right, Pyre. You have the letter.
I can write it in blood if you want, but it's gonna take a while. My
Don't
blood
make it
even
fun.
longer.
It needed just to be from your heart, and it had to be honest. Let's do this. And I will start the prayer. And asking Amara to have my friend's words heard from one of her from another words. Sorry, brain fart.
Hey, it happens. Literally when you're in the middle of talking, and you have to stall for time.
From one of Amara's old followers. And I will burn it.
All right.
As I reach the top of it. How's that?
Ooh.
That's
All
a
right.
natural 20.
All right.
Yikes.
23. The highest
And
you
a
could
natural
roll.
1, by the way.
The highest you could roll.
Both ends, so it works out.
So, as you finish your prayer, everything seems to turn white, like around you, really quickly, like a flash. And then you're surrounded by a golden celestial light, and you find yourself floating in the sky. And before you, Pyre, is a very large angel with swords swirling all around her. And she tells you, "I have heard you call out to Amara on behalf of one of my failed servants. Know that I do not wish to speak to this servant. However, what I am willing to do is to give him that brief time of service back to him. Also, tell him that it was never a matter of him being the man that I wanted him to be so much as wanting to be the man he needed to be for himself. And you seem nice. I hope he doesn't let you and your friends down. My guess is he probably will, because that's just what he does. And she smiles and kind of crosses her arms over her chest and kind of bows politely to you. What were you going to say?
I was gonna bow to her and I would say, as much as I know that's usually his MO, I think he's taking this very seriously.
He doesn't take anything seriously.
I understand that. I feel like he probably is this time just because of how serious it is and how his mortality has been thrown in his face a few times in the last week. But also, he watched almost all of us go down this week. And I think it was a reality check he needed to remember what happened before, it seems. And
Well,
he wasn't expecting anything from you.
he's very
But
lucky.
he will be appreciative of you giving him this one last shot.
If he had not had a friend like you to pray for him, I would not have listened to him at all.
Happy to be his friend then. I was useful.
Well, I hope he deserves it.
He don't.
And she smiles once more, and you see her start to float up on her wings above you, and then
I'll wave
the
goodbye.
the celestial golden light fades, and you find yourself back in the temple with Morgan, the Myriad Cathedral.
So, did anything noticeably happen?
Morgan, you feel a little younger, and you feel like on a cosmic level somehow you have some of your life back, or at least some of that experience back.
My potential is unlocked.
Mechanically, what you've gained through Pyre's 20 on a roll is the ability to take those warlock levels and put them to something else.
Yay!
Ooh.
Boy,
Put him in something else. Put him in there.
When I come to, I will be like a little woozy, and I'm like, ah,
you all
she
right?
was, she was a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's like 30 feet tall. I didn't mention that.
Yeah. She was nice to me. She was good. She's
Are you all right? I know it's. You look like you went through a lot.
it takes a lot talking to celestial beings.
That's why I didn't
Sometimes.
want to do it honestly.
Uh,
I mean, there are other reasons, but
she doesn't wish ill on you.
I didn't think she did. Otherwise, she could very easily come inflict ill upon me. Did you see the flying swords?
Yes, I did. They were cool. She never wanted you to be the man she thought you think she wanted. You wanted her. Yeah.
You should have wrote it down.
Tongue twister. She never wanted you to be the man you thought she wanted you to be. She just wanted you to be the man that you needed to be.
For you.
For you.
Ouch.
She also
Honestly-
don't take anything seriously, and she really hopes that
That's
she's
fair.
praying for you is worth it.
Fair.
I believe you are. I believe you are taking this seriously.
I don't tell anyone. I'm gonna lose my reputation.
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone.
Thank you, Pyre. Seriously.
Listen, I was in jail. Snitches get stitches.
Weirdly, I think I know what you mean.
Jails everywhere are very similar. It seems.
You know, it's the jail within ourselves. I'm gonna be honest. It kind of stings that that's the last time I'm gonna hear cryptic bullshit wisdom from her. But
Although
Jeez.
technically you didn't actually hear it from her.
yeah, well, secondhand.
It's.
Let's see if I can make use of my third chance. I take it.
She's giving you something back.
I know. I can feel it. Might just be gas, honestly. I was really nervous about this, but
Get some indigestion.
yeah,
no
you know,
worries.
too much. Second breakfast was a bad idea.
Second breakfast was.
It was a bit
an
much.
idea. I don't think it was a good one. Some days I don't think it's a bad one, but not today. Not today.
Let's head back to the group.
She was nice, but
You know, you don't have to work for her. Honestly, she's a little overbearing.
Butt heads.
Micromanaging. She's very micromanaging.
Yeah, I can see how you guys butt heads, though.
And Morgan chokes to death on water. As punishment for his crimes.
All right. So, before we end tonight, let me make a note. Taj has advantage
Mm-hmm.
on a saving throw.
I think that'll be good because I don't have anything for the frightful presence.
Alright,
Just
I
roll well. Roll good.
allow-
Well, I just need extra because what if I don't feel like rolling good?
That's true.
Right.
I was wanting to give you guys something to help you, a little bit of an
Right.
edge
I figured this
Yeah.
was my chance.
to
We're all about to
survive.
die anyway. So.
And then Taj is the only one that gets it.
By the way, when Morgan and Pyre get back to the remainder of the training, you see that basically what Brynjar and Taj is part of the part of his.
I assume Brynjar's just plugged full of arrows.
Well, no. What they basically they're carrying look like big giant logs, and basically around basically what he said is they're maneuvering around areas that were lit on fire and basically have them run around this area trying not to get go through
It's like the D&D version of American Gladiators.
yeah basically yeah.
How did you guys set this up? We were going for like an hour.
Yeah, Morgan, you get back and Taj and Brynjar are doing the Atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like
Do you want to go
Yeah.
back to the hotel and just drink?
Probably shouldn't.
I don't want to do this. We
Just-
could have a spa day.
I don't know why we came back here, honestly. Yeah. I don't think they've noticed us yet. Let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
they're like, come on,
Hey.
you basically, and then Wormkill's like, come on, you lazy bastards, let's go, come on.
It's all right. I need to grab my gym clothes. I'll be right back. Be right back. I'm all about it.
4 minutes of these drills.
I'm all about it. Hold up. Wait for me. I'll be right back.
I just talked to celestial beings. Leave me alone.
I wonder if that lady was a Solar.
She was absolutely a solar.
That's cool.
I aim for the top.
I'm not sure if it's for other settings, but there's supposed to be one Solar between per plane. Curious. Exciting. Love it.
Alrighty,
Good
well,
lore.
to go walk the girl.
All right, yeah, we're done for tonight.
Yep.
We'll pick up.
Good night, everyone. Good
I'm
night,
sorry
chat.
I ate up the last part of the night.
We'll pick up
Hopefully
next
it was
time.
worth it.
Okay.
Hey,
I
wait,
appreciate the
you
thing.
had all
you know.
this time to think about it. What are you gonna do?
Thinking, I got two options. We either lean into Morgan being Morgan. We go full rogue, which would put me at level 10, which would give me the ability to steal souls. NBD.
That
Okay.
seems very Morgan-y.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely embracing his darker side. The other side is, I think, maybe Bard Morgan. Lean more on his supporting his friends.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
So I think they'd probably be fine, but honestly, I think we got Pyre for all the supporting we need. I think you need to do the numbers.
How many times have we just completely beefed a fucking roll? Today.
And you would have and you would. Oh,
A reliable
you'd have
talent, that's
reliable
right.
talent, yeah, you'd have
Oh, that's
reliable
true.
talent next level.
Oh, it's a slam dunk. Can you imagine never rolling below a 20 on a persuasion check?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's
How
too.
are you trying to convince- how-
Is that too much
if anything,
power for
you're trying
one
to
man?
convince us out of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we don't say Safara single-handedly unleashed a terrible power upon this world.
Yeah.
Actionably, honestly, I think they're going to send her to the Hague for this one.
All right. Well, we will see next time. So, Rick, you can decide what Morgan does with those former warlock levels.
Thank you, George. I appreciate you meeting me halfway on this. I know it was a long and prickly journey of both character and personal growth. So
I was surprised. You even.
I've decided I don't actually want the whole party to die, both in and out of character. So I figure this will help our chances a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think it's good. I think I'm glad that it happened and all that such. I didn't think it'd take too long or anything like that. I thought it was great.
I
That
think
was very good.
All right. Well, we will end it there. Whose turn is it next week for the recap, Kelsey?
Well, Kelsey just left. It's
No.
my
Me,
turn.
I think.
that means it's Rick's turn.
Sounds about right. That's good since it was a Rick heavy episode.
That works for me.
All righty then.
It is.
I am the protagonist, so it makes sense.
All right. Say goodbye to chat. Good night, chat.
Good night.
Good
Good night,
chat.
everyone.
And
Good
good
night,
night
chat.
to anyone who watches us later on YouTube as well.
Yeah, my favorite
Hopefully,
part is to go back and laugh at my own jokes every time.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully, Worm Killer Dave will basically make toughen these guys up. So for the most part. And,
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm sorry I kind of stole your thunder with his opening.
Oh no,
episode,
that's
but-
no, I appreciated the fact that no, I mean it's just like it's just like yeah. So no, but I think you figure I'm all for character growth for this game.
What is Worm Killer Dave?
Worm Killer Dave is a dwarf. He's actually a hill dwarf. He's a ranger.
Okay, I was about to say a little more about what can he do in combat, but
Oh, okay. He does
There we
have
go.
sharpshooter, by the way. So
Nice.
there's that.
Does he have a way to get advantage?
Let's see. He's a hunter. He is a hunter. So he does have Colossus Slayer as part of his kilt. He does also have, by the way, steel wills.
Did you say as part of his kilt?
his
It
kit?
It did sound like killed though.
I thought
did
you
sound
said
like
he has
kilt,
he has
yeah.
Colossus Slayer as part of his kilt, and I was like, the
Yeah,
hell does
yeah,
that
well,
even mean?
You know the new magic items, George? The kilts of Colossus slaying.
Yeah, yeah.